All right, guys, last scene of Romeo and Juliet. We are going to finish this. It's going to be amazing. Bear with me. This was a little longer than the other acts we've done on Edpuzzle. It's a little more along the lines of like the balcony scene kind of scene, how it's a little longer, and a lot happens because it's the last scene. So we're wrapping up the whole play right now. So we are on page 219, very bottom, Act 3, Enter Paris and his page. Give me thy torch, boy, hence, and stand aloof. Yet put it out, for I would not be seen. Under yon yew trees lay thee all along, holding thy ear close to the hollow ground. So shall no foot upon the churchyard tread, being loose, unfirm with digging up of graves, but thou shalt hear it. Whistle then to me as signal that thou hearest something approach. Give me those flowers. Do as I bid thee. Go. I am most afraid to stand alone here in the churchyard, yet I will adventure. He moves away from Paris. Paris, scattering the flowers. Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Oh, woe! Thy canopy is dust and stones, which with sweet water nightly I will do, or, wanting that, with tears distilled by moans. The obsequies that I for thee will keep nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep. Page whistles. The boy gives warning something doth approach. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight to cross my obsequies and true love's right? What, with a torch? Muffle me, knight. Await a while. He steps aside. Enter Romeo and Balthazar. Give me that mattock and the wrenching iron. Take hold this letter. Early in the morning, see thou deliver it to my lord and father. Give me that light. Upon thy life I charge thee, whate'er thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious ring, a ring that I must use to dear employment. Therefore hence be gone. But if thou, jealous, dost return to pry in what I further shall intend to do, by heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild, more fierce and more inexorable far than empty tigers of the roaring sea. I will be gone, sir, and not trouble you. So shall thou show me friendship. Take thou that, giving money. Live and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow. Balthazar aside, for all this same, I'll hide me thereabout. His looks I fear, and his intents I doubt. He steps aside. Romeo, beginning to force open the tomb. Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth, thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food. This is that banished, haughty Montague that murdered my love's cousin, with which grief it is supposed the fair creature died. And here is come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him, stepping forward. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die. I must indeed, and therefore come I hither. Good, gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone. Let them affright thee. I beseech thee, youth. Put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Oh, be gone. By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, live, and hereafter say, a madman's mercy bid thee run away. I do defy thy communion and apprehend thee for a felon here. Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy. They draw and fight. O Lord, they fight. I will go call the watch. He exits. Oh, I am slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet. He dies. In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. What said my man when my besotted soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so, or did I dream it so? Or am I mad, hearing him talk of Juliet, to think it so? Oh, give me thy hand, one writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. He opens the tune. A grave? Oh no. A lantern, slaughtered youth, for here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there by a dead man interred, laying Paris in the tomb. How oft we met when men are at the point of death, have they been merry, which their keepers call a lightning before death. Oh, how may I call this a lightning? Oh, my love, my wife, death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheet? Oh, what more favor can I do to thee than with that hand that cut thy youth in twain to sunder his that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin. Oh, dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous? That the lean, abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear that I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim light depart again. Here will I remain with worms that are thy chambermaids. Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you, the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Kissing Juliet. Come, bitter conduct, come, unsavory guide. Thou desperate pilot, now at once run on a dashing rocks thy seasick weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus, with a kiss, I die. He dies. Enter Friar Lawrence with lantern, crow, and spade. St. Francis be my speed, how oft tonight have my old feet stumbled at graves. Who's there? Here, one, a friend, and one that knows you well. Oh, bliss be upon you. Tell me, good friend, what torch is yond that vainly lends his light to grubs and eyeless skulls, as I discern it burieth in the Capulet's monument? It doth so, holy sir, and here's my master, one that you love. Who is it? Romeo. How long hath he been here? Full half an hour? Go with me to the vault. I dare not, sir, my master knows not, but I am gone hence, and fearful did menace me with death, if I did stay to look on his intents. Stay then, I'll go alone. Fear comes upon me, oh, much I fear some ill, unthrifty thing. As I did sleep under this yew tree here, I dreamt my master and another fought, and that my master slew him. Romeo? Alack, alack, what blood is this which stains the stony entrance of the sepulchre? What means these masterless and gory swords to lie discolored by this place of peace? Romeo! Oh, pale! Who else? What, Paris too? And steeped in blood? Oh, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance! The lady stirs. Oh, comfortable friar, where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be and where I am. Where is my Romeo? I hear some noise. Lady, come from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come away, thy husband in thy bosom here lies dead, and Paris too. Come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet, I dare not stay longer. Go, get thee hence, for I will not away. He exits. What's here? A cup closed in my true love's hand. Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end. Oh, churl, drunk all, and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them, to make me die with a restorative. She kisses him. Thy lips are warm. Enter Paris's page and watch. Lead, boy, which way? Yea, noise, then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger, this is thy sheath. There rust, and let me die. She takes Romeo's dagger, stabs herself, and dies. This is the place, there where the torch doth burn. The ground is bloody. Search about the churchyard. Go, some of you, whoever you find, attach. Some watchmen exit. Pitiful sight. Here lies the county slain, and Juliet bleeding, warm and newly dead, who here hath lain this 2 days buried. Go tell the prince, run to the Capulets, raise up the Montagues some other search. Others exit. We see the ground whereupon these woes do lie, but the true ground of all these piteous woes we cannot without circumstance descry. Enter watchman with Romeo's man Balthazar. Here's Romeo's man, we found him on the churchyard. Hold him in safety, the little prince, come hither. Enter Friar Lawrence and another watchman. Here is a friar that trembles, sighs, and weeps. We took this mattock and this spade from him, as he was coming from this churchyard sight. A great suspicion. Stay the friar too. Enter the prince with attendants. What misadventure is so early up that calls our persons from our morning rest? Enter Capulet and Lady Capulet. What should it be that is so shrieked abroad? Oh, the people in the street cry Romeo, some Juliet, and some Paris, and all run with open outcry toward our monument. What fear is this which startles in our ears? Sovereign, here lies the county Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed. Search, seek, and know how this fell murder comes. Here is the friar, and slaughtered Romeo's man, with instruments upon them fit to open these dead men's tombs. Oh, heavens! Oh, wife, look how our daughter bleeds! This dagger hath mistaken for, lo, his house is empty on the back of Montague, and is missheathed in my daughter's bosom. Oh me, that sight of death is a bell that warns my old age to a sepulchre. Enter Montague. Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir now early down. Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my son's exile hath stopped her breath. What further woe conspired against mine age? Look, and thou shalt see. Oh, thou untaught, what manners is in this to press before thy father to a grave? Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, till we can clear these ambiguities and know their spring, their head, their true descent. And then will I be general of your woes, and lead you even to death. Meantime forbear, and let mischance be slave to patience. Bring forth the parties of suspicion. I am the greatest, able to do least, yet most suspected as the time and place doth make against mine of this direful murder. And here I stand, both to impeach and purge myself, condemned and myself excused. They say at once what thou dost know is this. I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as a tedious tale. Romeo, there dead, was husband to that Juliet, and she, there dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose untimely death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city, for whom, and not for Tybalt, Juliet pined. You, to remove that siege of grief from her, betrothed and would have married her perforce to county Paris. Then comes she to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some mean to rid her from this second marriage, or in my cell there would she kill herself. Then gave I her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wrought on her the form of death. Meantime I writ to Romeo that he should hither come as this dire night to help take her from this borrowed grave, being the time the potion's force should cease. But he which bore my letter, Friar John, was stayed by accident, and yesternight returned my letter back. Then all alone, at the prefixed hour of her waking, came I to take her from her kindred's vault, meaning to keep her closely at my cell till I conveniently could send to Romeo. But when I came, some minute ere the time of her awaking, here, untimely, lay the noble Paris and true Romeo dead. She wakes, and I entreated her come forth and bear this work of heaven with patience, but when a noise did scare me from the tomb, and she, too desperate, would not go with me, but as it seems did violence on herself. All this I know, and to the marriage her nurse is privy. And if aught in this miscarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed some hour before his time unto the rigor of severest law. We still have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say to this? I brought my master news of Juliet's death, and then in post he came to Mantua, to this same place, to this same monument. This letter he did bid me give his father, and threatened me with death going in the vault if I departed not and left him there. Give me the letter, I will look to it. He takes Romeo's letter. Where is the county's page that raised the watch? Sirrah, what made your master in this place? He came with flowers to strew his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof, and so I did. Anon comes one with light to ope the tomb, and by my master drew on him, and then I ran away to call the watch. This letter doth make good the friar's words, their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of poor apothecary, and therewithal came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your hate? That heaven finds means to kill your joys with love, and I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished. Oh, brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand. But I give thee more, for I will ray her statue in pure gold, that whilst Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure in such rate be set, as that of true and faithful Juliet. As rich shall Romeo's by his ladies lie. Poor sacrifices of our enmity. A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence, and have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo. I'll exit. That's the end of the story, kids. So I'll let you draw your own morals, but we'll talk about this more next week. I hope you enjoyed our foray into Shakespeare. I did. Anyway, see you later.